I wore 4 brand new releases this week. Let's talk about them. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel, Aromatics. Today we're going to be talking about what I wore last week. We've got Le Male ELIXIR, we've got the Eternal from Paris Corner, the Eternal Meadows, I should say, and then we've got the new Afkaar Gold. So let's just get right into it. The first day this week, I decided to go with the brand new Le Male ELIXIR. Ladies and gentlemen, this is by far the best one. My favorite one of the entire lineup. And basically what this does, in my opinion, is it takes some of the best aspects of the Le Parfum and the original, and it also adds some honey. So you have some Middle Eastern vibes, there's some Oriental vibes, some vanilla, cardamom, things of that nature, with the added honey, and that's where it really just seals the deal for me. I love this stuff. I got easily 8+ hours out of this bad boy. It wasn't anything, beastly, but definitely above average performance. I'm all for the elixirs, and this is one of them for sure. Next day this week was a bit funny. In all honesty, it was kind of the irony of the whole thing was just, it blew my mind. I decided to wear this bad boy right here, Kayaan Gold, and this is from Wataniah, which is another sub-branch or a company that gets fulfilled by Lattafa. And basically, this is 1 million parfum. So I decided to rock this bad boy. It lasts a hell of a long time. It smells good. It basically smells like the 1 million DNA with tuberose. So it's a more floral take, and what this does is it makes it more appropriate for like the springtime, fall time, and even summertime, to be honest with you guys. So that same night, I got the package in for the next fragrance that I wore that very same day, and did a quick little unboxing first impression to find out what it was duping, because everybody wanted to know, including myself. And I decided to spray this on my hand, and guess what? Yeah, they're the same damn thing, okay? There are some differences, but they're both 1 million parfum. My mind was blown because of all days, I wore this. So yes, the next day was, or not even the next day, the same night was this bad boy right here, and this is 1 million parfum. So tuberose, which has basically this type of almost grape-like accord. So it smells almost like grapes. The caps on these things suck. All of the Fakhars, that's exactly what ends up happening. They're barely on there, but the scent itself, for the price, really freaking nice. I'm leaning a little bit more towards Kayaan Gold, but because of overall refinement, but really nice, really nice. 1 million parfum is slept on, I think, in my opinion, but I get it because it is a little bit more floral with that tuberose. Not many men are going to be, inclined to go for that one, but during the summer, it smells great. Next day this week, I decided to make a little short on my way to work. On Instagram, I posted about this, and this is, yes, this is the best one so far. It is better, in my opinion, than the Emir version, and this is Afkaar. This is the best dupe. I'm telling you guys, I'm giving it away right now. This is the best dupe for Mancera's Instant Crush. It's called Afkaar. I picked this up on a whim from oudstore.com. I think that was the only place I could find this bad boy. So for a long time, I saw it, and I saw that it was an Instant Crush dupe. I wasn't really watching the reviews to see what they said about it, but I had a notion that it was. So picked it up, tested it. This thing is eternal. This thing is eternal. It does not go away even when you want it to. 10+, 12+ hours sometimes, but I'm just going to say 10+ and keep it there. And the next day I decided to rock something that was a little bit bolder and deeper. Since it was a rainy day, it was a little bit cooler outside, and I have a couple of these fragrances, and I'm going to tell you guys right now that all of the ones from the Abraaj I've tested for the most part, and they're all spot on. They're all amazing, especially the newer ones. So there's Brackish, which is Bracken Man. There's this one, which is Enclosure, that I rocked, and it smells just like Enclave, you guys. It has this Middle Eastern vibe. It has this sweet spearmint type of note. It's not the center of the focus, but you definitely can sense it. Overall, though, this smells extremely close to the Amouage fragrances, really, and it doesn't necessarily have that exact same funk, but it's very damn close. Very, very close. So sweet, oriental, with an undertone of like this spearmint. It's not off-putting, it's not too mint-centric, but it's absolutely there and very sexy. So check this one out, guys. It's called Enclosure by Abraaj. And at the time of making this video, there's only a couple of availabilities for this fragrance, which would include oudstore.com and eBay. If you get it from Oudstore, you could save 10% off with Aromatics 10. The next one that I decided to rock, which is going to finalize the whole guide list that I'm going to be working on very soon, for SPICEBOMB. I picked up almost all of them that are relevant, at least, and the last one I rocked was Infrared EDP, which is the newest release from SPICEBOMB, and this one is a better one, honestly. It's much, much better than the Infrared EDT. But I mean, it really didn't move me too much, you guys. It still does have that capsaicin vibe. It literally almost smells spicy, but this is definitely more grown up, lasts a little bit longer, but even then it didn't really last much longer than 6 to 8 hours tops. The main difference between this and the EDT is that it has this leather. It seems more grown up, more mature, more sexy for sure. So if I were to go with either one of them, I would absolutely go with this one. The EDTs, I don't know if it's just because it's the newer formulations or I have no clue, but my SPICEBOMB EDT, like the original lasts, and it lasts, but the new ones, Night Vision EDT, SPICEBOMB Infrared EDT, I mean, I wasn't getting more than like 4 hours, guys. And I mean, I have no reason to exaggerate or under exaggerate, but no more than like 4 hours. This one, however, like I said, 6 to 8 hours. So if you're going to go with anything from SPICEBOMB, I think you should stick to the EDPs. The next day, I decided to unbox and do an impression on Paris Corner's Meadows. This is a brand new one. I also did the coffee, for those of you wondering. I did do a first impression live, but if you don't have the patience, which none of us really do, honestly, our time is money and money is time. So here we go. The coffee is basically this extremely cream forward fragrance, more so than it is coffee. So it's going to be more for the ladies. It's extremely sweet, but it has like this artificial sweetness. So it's not just creamer. It smells like the artificial pumps. So if you go to Starbucks and you get a cup of coffee with cream and then you add like 15 or 20 pumps of caramel flavoring, that's what it smells like, with an undertone of coffee. So more lactonic, more cream, more sweetener. That's what that one is. There's a lot of women or gentlemen that might enjoy that one. So if anything I said about it is appealing to you, then you're going to enjoy that. Eternal Meadows is basically Ultramall. It's a very smooth version of Ultramall. It's really not bad. Really not bad at all. It gave me about 7 hours, nothing really more than that, but overall, extremely smooth. This is another fragrance that's going to be in the Clone War, and I can't really give you too many teasers because of the fact that I still have to test them. So Ultramall might be next up in that Clone War series. However, this one as a dupe is honestly great. The quality of this one, A+. Longevity, I give it a B-. Otherwise, Meadows was great, was really good. I even wore that one to the gym, and it did just fine. It wasn't too overpowering. Next day, or I think that very same night, whatever it is, what it is, I wore it, okay? And I made a reel about this one. After a shower, I decided to rock this bad boy just because it gives me comfort vibes, man. It's like apple pie, booze. It's very sexy. It's something that, you know, conceives children or helps you conceive children. And so going to bed, I decided to wear this. So Cocktil Intense by Fragrance World is, I'm going to go on record telling you guys right now, better than Kismet Angel. It's better than Kismet Angel, period. Better in every single way. Reason being, number one reason or way that it is better is it's much stronger. I mean, Kismet Angel, when I first got it, I wasn't getting more than 3 to 4 hours. Straight up, it was water for the first month. After that first month, it did get better, but still to this day, I don't get more than 6 hours. I wore this on the first night of opening this. I got 8 hours. I woke up after my sleep and it was still there on my shirt. I compared it to the original. Now, the only difference between this and the original is the booze. The booze in the original Angel Share has a little bit more of the emphasis around the cognac. So you're going to get more of like this Mandarin liqueur vibe. The Mandarin is still here, the undertone, but it's just not as liqueur forward. With all things considered, this, if I could remake that be a Angel Share Clone War, this would probably be number 1, if not number 2. But in all honesty, price per ml, this is number 1. Cocktil Intense has been sitting on the sidelines for far too long. And to be honest with you guys, I'm a little disappointed that I didn't give this one a shot first. So the next day I decided these things have just been sitting behind me and I'm not really talking about them. I need to start getting into them. My love for these dupes are just, it's real. I mean, it is real, but my love for the niche, I'm not going to lie, is a little bit more. But the people love the dupes and I love what the people love. And so that's why I do what I do. Period. Regardless of the fact, I still had to treat myself to one of my niche fragrances, which this exactly is. And it's from Gissah Perfumes, and it's called Imperial Valley. That's what I decided to go with. So Imperial Valley, this gigantic bottle is 200 mLs. And you guys, this is a thin glass, okay? And then the metal here, it's like very thin metal. I don't want you guys to get the impression that this is a heavy bottle. It's really not that heavy. And then the atomizer is kind of funny looking. It looks like a hairspray mist, but I mean, let's look at this, guys. Let's look at this. Here we go. 1, 2. Yikes, man. That is, holy smokes. That's legit. I kid you guys not, about 4 sprays of something like SPICEBOMB. So this stuff is very strong. I want to start off by saying that this whole line has a funk altogether, just like something like Amouage. Middle Eastern fragrances get a bad rep, but in all reality, that's where all of this originated. So all of these fragrances, including the ones behind me that have high prestige, I mean, really, they all originated from the East. So anyways, like I was saying, this is one of those that has history, that has niche behind it, basically specialized in fragrances is what niche means. And they are far from cheap. This, you can absolutely sense the raw materials are expensive. Some brands use a fixative, which is basically a combination of like these enhancers. It could be ambergris, ISO-E Super, Hedione, whatever they decide to use. It's a combination. And they use it in all of their fragrances. So if you smell a funk in a fragrance, it's usually because of their proprietary blend or their fixative blend. And so that's the case with all of these, but the scent itself, it's very strong, it's very signature, it's very aromatic, extremely aromatic. You get a blast of like this tea-like Divana, and so it makes this one very aromatic. And aromatic just means something that's like herbal, that's like not necessarily spicy, just very herbaceous. When you go into a kitchen with fresh herbs and things of that nature, like think parsley, celery, cilantro, don't think more so spices and cooking. Think more so of the greens and stuff. That's what aromatic really means. And so that's exactly what the Divana here does. Divana and Artemisia, if I'm not mistaken, Divana, Artemisia, and sage, they're all a part of the same family of like these herbs and aromatics. And that's essentially what it does. It gives that green aromatic feel. And then you have another note of pink pepper, which does spicing it up a little bit. And it honestly does help this one kind of pump off the skin just a little bit more. You do have an undertone of bergamot, but it's barely even there. As this one starts to dry down, it focuses on a couple of different nuances. The amber, the musk, and the leather. So this is much more masculine than it is feminine for sure. They have another one called the Hudson Valley, and I think that one's much more feminine. Don't quote me for it. We're just going to stick to the Imperial Valley. So extremely aromatic, which then, and spicy, a little bit spicy at the top. I don't want you to think spices like cooking spices or anything like that. No, pink pepper. Pink pepper, in my opinion, is the brightest and the most effervescent of the peppers. My favorite pepper to use, really. And then it dries down into a musky, ambery, patchouli leather type of vibe. So leather, musk, amber, and Divana. An aromatic musky leather is exactly what this is. They do say that they have oud in the mid. You get like this undertone of wood. It's not too animalic, but you do sense some of that woodiness. Regardless of the fact, this is going to be a full review because I have a lot to say about it clearly, and it's an experience. Definitely much different than most of what I have in my collection. Unfortunately, this is priced up a lot higher than it is in the East, but you get, you know, you have to pay for the middleman and the transportation, and it is what it is, you guys. The scent itself, though, it does deserve a full review. Yeah, pretty nice. If you go to the East and you tell them about this fragrance, they're gonna be like, everybody and their dad smells like this. This is nothing unique. And honestly, I really don't believe that this one is the most unique in the world, but like I said, it still smells very different. When we're talking in terms of the West, yeah, it's unique. And lastly, I went and picked up the brand new Ralph's Club ELIXIR. This bad boy is the best flanker from the entire line, in my opinion, because of its bold characteristics. It's denser, it's sexier. It's still nothing groundbreaking. I'm going to be honest with you guys and ground this one here. It's just basically iris, olibanum, and incense. That's really what it is, with sage. That's as simple as I'm going to make it because I don't want to overhype this one. It smells good. Does it have that lipstick vibe? Yes, it does. This is a fragrance that gives you a different experience when worn on skin and when worn on clothing. It's not very common that I have that, you know, specific, distinctive, different experiences, but with this one absolutely is that. So iris, olibanum, leather, and incense. That's it. Leather, olibanum, and incense is what this one dries down to. The iris hangs on for a little bit, and you can watch my full review on this one if you want to know the rest. So not bad of a fragrance, not the best performer, but also nothing groundbreaking. I do enjoy this one, and I will be reaching for it very frequently. And clearly they decided to start cutting the grass, so it's a perfect time to just say peace out, guys. If you're not already subscribed, then go ahead, scroll down and hit it, and until the next video.